Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changes the nation.
Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it. Okay. There you go. This new mic. Got to get used to it. And it's a new year. It's January 4th, 2022. Before you know it, it'll be December 31st, 2022. Man, this year was a blur. A lot of good things happened last year. Man, we had a good turnout for the prosperity ritual. I think it was around close to 30, 40 people. That's a good amount of people that joined in to write down their intentions, to good intentions for this new year. It's always good to write things down and to reflect on what you want to happen, to be deliberate about your success, to deliberately put in your consciousness exactly what you want to happen. Too many times we leave things to chance. We haven't been taught to take the time and reflect on those things that we want good to happen. Instead, we've been distracted by watching, social media, any type of media distractions, and most of that stuff's negative. For the most part, it's negative. It's not helping you, reflecting on their agenda. So that's why you need to create your agenda, something that you can think about daily and consistently. So let's see who's in the house. Karini, happy Tuesday. Sam, Sidewalk, heads up. Says he's in South Carolina. Someone said this their first time. Thank you for joining. Um, Gladstone Robinson in the house. So I know you guys saw that picture I had up there, right? Let's put it up there again. There it is. You see that, right? This was out of Puck magazine, 1899. This is when this was drawn. And when you look at the picture, you can see the depiction of what these people look like. You know, you got right here, Philippines, Hawaii, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, hang on. Let me see if I can enlarge that. Puerto Rico at that time was spelled this way. Porto, Rico. Cuba. These is all of the people. I'm gonna go into this a little bit later on. I'm gonna go into that. And I'm gonna read about the Taino people, the Arawaks, who these people was. I did a show a while back. But I have to go over it again because some people in the membership, they want to know, well, what do I put down? And Puerto Rico is one of those corporate titles that they got down. It's a US citizen title. So what do I put down instead of Puerto Rico? And then, we talked about Taino. And even that title was not a real title. That is a term given to those people. But I'll show you. I'll read through it. But I always use that term Taino because they were the indigenous people, according to sources that I'm going to show you, of the Caribbean. You like Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, um, Haiti, Dominican Republic. And if you ever been to Dominican Republic and Haiti and you see the people there, a lot of those folks over there, for the most part, are dark. What is he talking about? Why African Diaspora News Channel on your live stream? There is no African. I don't know what you're talking about. What is he talking about? Because I can see what's streaming here, and it's a picture up here. Let me see. What is he talking about? Let me go to see what y'all see. Let's see. Go to my channel. I don't know what you're looking at. You might be looking at something else. But you ain't looking at my channel. And I'm looking. And I'm clicking. You ain't looking at my channel. See, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at it. I see the picture I'm showing. Let me mute this. Sometimes it's good to have this up to play it. Usually I have my laptop up and I can see what's going on, what you guys see. Anyway. So someone tagged it. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to that. So I'll go into this later, but let's talk about this new year and making some good things happen, and why sometimes we get distracted in the goals that we say we want. One of the main reasons is our association by way of the people we hang out with, of the programs we watch, the music we listen to, and the habits that we have. I meet a lot of people who claim they want success, they want to bring prosperity to their business, but when it come time to do that hard stuff, the sacrifice, when it come time to put in that work, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm gonna take a break. You need to make room for this and that. And meanwhile, these people that claim they want their business to be successful are not making money in their business, but they got time to rest. They got time to take a break. and get mad at you when you talking to them. Man, wait a minute, you don't have time to take a break. You running a business. And if you're not, this is, let me be very blunt. If you're trying to start a business and it's not making money, and you're taking breaks and doing all kind of stuff, doing everything else that takes away from your time from your business, then you're not serious. You're just talking. You're just making a empty declaration that you want a business because you're not willing to not do the things that are distracting. I just need it. And then they really get in their mind and justify to themselves that what they say makes sense. But see, to a person like myself who is running a business, it don't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me. It is no way if I got a business and it's not making money, it's not doing what I need it to do, that I could sit back and look at myself in the mirror and be proud of that. There's no way. You should not be proud of failure. Not failure where you're trying to work and it's, you have to redo things because you did something and it didn't work out. No, failure when you're just not doing it. You're not putting in the work. That's that type of failure. And another thing that keeps people from being successful in the business, they'll start on an idea but don't follow through on the idea. Oh, it don't give it enough time to plant. You like a seed, you put it in the ground, it takes time for it. You got to water it, and the next you know it'll be budding. It'll come pop up through the soil, but that takes time. If you stand there and you watch that seed, wait for it to pop through the soil, you'll never see it. But if you plant it and you just keep doing the work, going back, doing the work, it's going to come, and next thing you know, you see it. Then it becomes larger and bigger. So that's how you see progress, by you constantly watering your business, doing things daily to make it grow. And in this age of vanity, what I mean by that is people want likes over money. Let me say it again. People want to be liked. They want, people like this over money. So they're more looking at who's checking off a like button than who's depositing money into their account. See, I don't worry about likes and how many people watch my videos. But I know one thing, that the content that I put out, the people that are willing to invest in my business watches it. They watch it and they invest. I don't have huge channels like, some of these other people. Like, I got, close to 9,000 followers on YouTube. And outside of that, I got more people following me. But it's those, I don't go on the YouTube. Oh, how many people liked it? How many? I used to go. I said, man, I ain't worried about that. How it shows is when people come to my site, they say, I like what he's saying. I'm going to invest in him, and I'm going to learn what he's teaching. You see? So, but anyway, stop distracting me with the unnecessary questions about stuff I'm not talking about. You see? If you are serious about being successful, you're going to have to give up people, places, and some things. And the people you got to give up is the people that's not going in your direction. And what I mean by giving up, you got to get off the phone with them. You got to get off these daily conversations that are going nowhere. I really make it a point, and sometimes the people in my life don't get it when I say this, that I do not want to sit at the table too many times with people who are not in the same frame of mind as me. Not that I'm better than them. It's just that what are we going to talk about? Your job? I don't have a job. I don't have a place to clock in. So I'm not interested in hearing about anybody's job, the fact that they got to get up and go and what the supervisor did to them yesterday. I'm not interested in that because that's not my lifestyle. And I'm not interested in encouraging anybody in that area. What I try to encourage people in do something for yourself. Become your own boss. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Everybody can do it. They have children making videos, opening toys, making millions of dollars. Why can't you make millions of dollars? What's the difference between this child that's opening up toys and you? Older, more wiser, more experienced, right? You see? What is the difference? Not just in this child, and someone else who has a successful business and you don't. What's the difference? The difference is dedication and consistency. The person that's succeeding in their business is dedicated to it. It's their way of life. They put it first. They nurture it. They don't, oh man, I'm tired. I got to, I got to take a break. Mm-mm. You could take a break when your business is making money when you're on vacation. That's when you might be able to take a break. But real high performing individuals out there with their business, they don't even take a break then. It just depends on the level of commitment that you have. Like people like Dan Pena, he's got billions of dollars, but he don't take breaks. He spends the large majority of his day, all of his day, investing his time in his business. And if he's talking to someone, guess what he's talking about? His business. That's why he got billions of dollars. That's why he has billions of dollars. Because he talks about his business every day. He promotes his business every day. The reason why I don't have billions of dollars because maybe I need to do that. What he's talking about, what he's doing. Investing all of my time or most of it into my business. No breaks. You get back what you put into something. You see? You will get back what you put into it. And if you're not getting anything out of your business, that means you need to look at your time and your investment and your strategies. Some people really believe that they can hang on to these old associates, these old friends, even families, and still remain and become successful. No, most people who have come super successful had to shed friends or people they called friends, family, and they had to sacrifice their time and be dedicated to that. Yeah. She said, let me address this comment. Somebody said, saying maybe everyone's business should be love, not dollars. Okay. Tell that to your landlord. See, that's what people say. Preach, we love this and love that. Yeah, love is great, but it doesn't pay bills. It doesn't pay. Let's be realistic. Love never paid a bill for anybody. Shoot, love don't even keep people together. So that philosophy need to be rethought. Yeah, I got love. And how I show love is I go out there and I make that money so I could take care of my family and give them a nice lifestyle. Someone said that is a broke mindset. I agree. That's what they were. Love does it all, please. Come on. Love is good. You gotta have love. And how I show love is putting in the work on my business so I can make money and give my family the lifestyle they deserve. That's me showing love. In love, dear, no bills. Okay, go to another planet, brother. You on a whole nother planet. Yeah, hey, have love, and tell that to the landlord when it's time to pay the rent. Tell it to the car note people, their light bills. Tell them, hey, I got love for you. You say, yeah, that's great, but we still need that bread. You know. Hey, how about you, Sam Sidewalk? Why don't you go set up a show and talk about your creators love idea? Because right now we talking about prosperity, having pocket full of money, because it is hell when you don't have money in this system. You are living a life of hell. You are in hell if you're broke. Okay? I don't know any happy, loving people when they broke. You see? The number one thing that breaks couples up is money problems. To hell with love at that point, most people will say, like, wait a minute, okay, that's love. Yeah, it's great. But hey, we gotta eat. That's right. He said, you are the creator, so show love and go make that money. I agree, real time. Tell him. I love what I do. That's why I do it. And that's why I'm able to be compensated well for what I do, because I love what I do. That's love right there. And love is me expressing to you to tell you it is okay to have lots of money. It's okay to be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. It is okay. If that's what you want to be, go be it. There's not too many people out here that's talking about they okay with not having money. It'll be all right, I don't have. No, they're lying. Because that's why, people without money is always asking people with money for some money. You see? Show love for yourself by living prosperous, feeling that you deserve to live like a king. Everybody deserves to live like a king or a queen. To have an abundance. This is what it was all here for. To have dominion. Because when I research the Bible and I read the Bible, all of the God's called men and women were wealthy. They weren't broke. They had something to offer. They had jobs to offer people. They had people working for them. So this idea that, let's do love and don't worry about money, you see that mindset will always keep you broke, because what you focus on is what you're going to receive. Okay, yeah, you could focus on love, and I agree, focus on that, but you also need to focus on keeping your pockets full. Because if you don't focus on it, it's going to be empty. And you're not going to be able to tell your landlord, your mortgage company, that I got love for you. They ain't going to hear that. All right. All right. What y'all saying? Okay. Maxim, more. You don't have to tell everybody your business. Stop. See, you putting your stuff out here in a public forum. People are haters out here. They'll sit out there and do a ritual to try to keep you from getting it. I talk in generalizations about the things that I have and things that I do. You know. Um. So I'm looking. Myron 3. I'm looking for your videos on proper trust option and doing 10. I don't have any videos out in the public on those things. You will never see them publicly. That is only shared in my premium membership group in a private forum. That information. There will be no videos publicly out there of me teaching that stuff. So let's see. Let's go. Let's do this. Uh, Locking. I'm putting poverty mindsets in the block list. I don't need to have that in my psyche. It's my private membership, akemail.com. All right, let's get into this. All of this other chitty chat, side conversations. All right, let's get up. Okay, let's pull up this picture again. All right. Here it is. So this is from Puck Magazine, 1899. Puck Magazine was notorious for making cartoon depictions of what was going on back in those days. And this picture says a lot. You got one of the biggest reasons why I showed it, I just wanted you to see the complexion of the people from this time. This is 1899. So the artist drew this, showing you what these people look like from these areas. You got Philippines, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Cuba. Nothing like what they trying to make you think these people look like, you know, in these now mainstream media and even in your vacation brochures. You see? And if you look in the background, you see an Indian, or what they would call an Indian, with a book in his hand, and it's upside down, CBA. And then right outside the door is, let me just put it in perspective. That's a Chinaman. And look at his complexion. Over here, you got Alaska. Look at that complexion. Then you have these other colonized states. And I'm going to read about that and see show you how you got sold out, how you became part of their, uh, one of their employees. See, this says CBA. CBA stands for Collective Bargaining Agreement. So, what is a collective bargaining agreement? What does that mean? Let's see if I can find a definition for that. And get the definition for collective bargaining. Is mainly let's see. I know what it is, but I like to read these definitions. A collective bargaining agreement is a written legal contract between an employer and a union representing the employees. So, why would an Indian be reading that? And he's reading it upside down, which indicates there's an agreement that he doesn't understand because he's reading it upside down. So, are they trying to say that the United States made a collective bargaining agreement with the tribes of the Americas? And of course, you know, this probably had all kind of traps. Like, let's say one of the collective agreements was to change your status, to change your name, to change your tribe from the original tribal names to something that they can control or have jurisdiction over. Like, for instance, Puerto Rico, right? When I read about them, the original people was the Taínos, but if you go deeper, it wasn't Taínos. They were called something else. Taínos was something that the explorers were calling them. So, in order to gain control, they came up with these agreements. This is why I tell you, they didn't kill off the indigenous people. They just did this collective bargaining agreements and reclassified, renamed. And in a collective bargaining agreement, it also talks about how you're going to get compensated and paid. So that means that whoever was in charge made a bad deal and sold off his tribe to the United States under these collective bargaining agreements. Because when you look at the indigenous people, it was too many of them to go to war with them and just take it over. No, they did it through trickery, through the pen, paper genocide. But let's read it. Let's read this. All right, I'm gonna read this. Let me share screen. Let's go to Chrome tab. Taino. I read this a while ago, but we need to read it again. Not gonna read the whole thing. It says the Taino were an indigenous people of the Caribbean. At the time of European contact in the late 15th century, they were the principal inhabitants of most of what is now Cuba, Hispaniola, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and the Northern Lesser Antilles. The Taino were the first New World peoples encountered by Christopher Columbus during his 1492 voyage. They spoke the Taino language, a division of the Arawakan language group. Many Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans have Taino MT DNA, showing they were descendants through the direct female lines. Some groups of people currently identify as Taino, most notably among Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Cubans, both on the Caribbean islands themselves and on the United States mainland. However, it is controversial whether Taino culture has actually survived or whether it gradually blended into shared cultural identity, which is descended from Africa, Spanish, and Taino cultures, but which can no longer be truly identified with the historic Taino culture. Yeah, because y'all blended them in through collective bargaining agreements. Some scholars, such as Jalil Sued Badilio, an ethno-historian in the University of Puerto Rico, assert that although the official Spanish history speak of the disappearance of the Taino as an ethnic identification, many survivors left descendants, usually by intermarrying with other ethnic groups. Recent research reveals a high percentage of mixed ancestry in the populations of Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. The ancestors of the Taino originated in South American continent. The Taino culture, as documented, developed on the Caribbean island. Taino groups came into conflict with the island Caribs of the Southern Lesser Antilles. At the time of European contact, the Taino were divided into several groups. Western Taino groups included Lucayan. See, here it is. And let me just read that. Lucayan people were the original residents of the Bahamas before the European conquest of the Americas. Now, if you go to my main page, there's a picture there that I took while I was in the Bahamas in a bar, a restaurant bar, and they had this picture up there showing the original people there, and and showed how the ships were coming in with the crosses on it, how the settlers were coming in. And then later on, as you go on, this picture also depicted how they came from the original people, and all of a sudden they changed their religion to Christianity. So those are the Lucayan people in the Bahamas. Let me get that. Oh, I was still reading that. Where was it? Lucayan. Oh, now my eyes have lost it. Groups, Allen Caribs, lesson into these are the Allen Caribs and what they look like according to Lucayan. Right. They were a branch of the Taínos who inhabited most of Caribbean islands at the time. Lucayans were the first indigenous Americans encountered by Christopher Columbus. So what they're telling you is everywhere they were going, they were running into dark people. Okay. And then of the Bahamas, the Siboney of central Cuba, the inhabitants of Jamaica. The classic Taino lived in Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, while the Eastern Taino lived in the northern islands of the Lesser Antilles. So that's part of it. You guys can read that. Here's the link. And I want to move on to something else. That's the link for that. So let's go to. Should I read that? No. Okay. All right. I don't know. I got so much up here. Here's something I found on Haiti, pre-Columbian Hispaniola. Let's share this screen. Chrome tab. Haiti. Here's the link. Let me put this link in the chat here. Okay, and this here is pre-Columbian Hispaniola Arawak Taino Native Americans. So basically, they're telling you Arawak would be one of the original names. Lucayan would be one of the original names. So those of you who are kind of confused on how to do your passport process and what you should be calling yourselves, I'm giving you somewhere to look and decide. Okay? Here it is. It says, let's skip down. Below is an overview of the Arawak Taino Native Americans, the original natives of the land today called Haiti and Dominican Republic. Now, y'all know what the people look like over there. This is not so much an original treatment, but I pulled a lot of material together from about a dozen. So it's more like an extended report. All right. Then it goes over these topics. On December 6, 1492, Christopher Columbus landed at Mole Street Nicholas in Haiti's north. Thus began a totally new phase of life on the island of Hispaniola. See, that, remember he said he came to America, blah, 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 blah. He didn't come to this land, North American. He didn't land here first. Most people are aware that Christopher Columbus landed at San Salvador on October 12, 1492, thus discovering the New World for Spain. Less known is that his second landfall was at Mole Street Nicholas, Haiti, on December 1492, or that the first settlement in the New World was La Navidad on Haiti's north coast. This settlement, which housed sailors from the Santa Maria, which sank off Haiti's coast, was founded on December 24, 1492. Columbus did not discover a lost or unknown land. It was a flourishing civilization of Native Americans. The primary group was the Arawak Taino Indians. Arawak is the general group in which they belong and describes especially the common language that this group of Native Americans shared. They ranged from Venezuela through the Caribbean and Central America all the way to Florida. However, the particular group of Arawak speaking people who lived on the island of Hispaniola was Taino Indians. To keep both names before us, I'll use the term Arawak Taino to refer to them. The Arawak Taino society was basically a very gentle culture. It was characterized by happiness, friendliness, and a highly organized hierarchical fraternity society and a lack of guile. Each society was a small kingdom, and the leader was called a cazique. That means like king or something. Um, I looked that up earlier. At the time of Columbus, there was 5 different kingdoms. Uh, there were 5 different kingdoms on the island of Hispaniola. The Indians practiced polygamy. Most men had 2 or 3 wives, but the caziques had as many as 30. It was a great honor for a woman to be married to a cazique. Not only did she enjoy a materially superior lifestyle, but her children were held in high esteem. Let's define that word they keep using here. Let me copy that so that y'all can get a clear understanding of what that word means. Definition: a Latin or American Spanish speaking Caribbean, a native chief. So that's a chief, basically. All right. All right, let's get back to it. Not only did okay, we read that. The Arawak Town used 2 primary architectural styles for their homes. The general population lived in circular buildings with poles providing the primary support, and these were covered with woven straw and palm leaves. It was somewhat like North American teepees, except rather than being covered with skins, they needed to reflect the warmth of the climate and simply use straw and palm leaves. The caziques was singled out for unique housing. Their housing was rectangular and even featured a small porch. Despite the difference in shape and the considerably larger buildings, the same materials were used. When the Africans came beginning in 1507, they introduced mud and wattle as primary building materials. However, there is no record of Arawak Taínos having used these materials. Okay. So they're basically giving you an idea of these people, right? I don't have to read all this, and I'm not. What I want to get to is this Avalon project. Oh, and it's the Treaty of Annexation, Texas, April 12th, 1844. So this goes back to that picture. Because if you go to that picture that I showed earlier, let's go to that picture I showed earlier. Let's go back. One of the states on this picture at the front, very front, is Texas. See it? Texas. Oh, that's too big. My bad, y'all. How do I get that back? Oh, there you go. Texas. And I'm going to show you exactly how they got you. Now, I kind of skimmed a lot of this collective bargain agreements. This is how they did it. And to tell you the truth, the your articles of confederation is a form of a collective bargaining agreement. Yeah. So let's go. Let's read this. Let's read this. Let me show you how the states is really screwing their citizens. Chrome tab. See, when I do stuff, I read exactly where I get the sources from. So I'm gonna put this in the chat for you so you can read it. So all the people talking about being a state citizen, Yeah, I'm a state citizen. Well, I hope this discourages you. Here it is. The people of Texas having at the okay, let's start from the beginning. The Treaty of Annexation. We all know what do we know what annexation means? Annexation. Let's look at that. This is a collective bargaining agreement. I'm just letting y'all know, right? This is a collective bargain. And it's also an amalgamation. Annexation, a formal act whereby a state proclaims its sovereignty over territory hitherto outside its domain, unlike cession, whereby territory is given or sold through treaty. Annexation is a unilateral act made effective by actual possession and legitimized by general recognition. Boom. Now, and I also use that word amalgamation. Amalgamate, combine, or unite to form one organization or organization of structure. So the Articles of Confederation is an amalgamation. It's an integration of the 50 states combining as one. Yes. All right. Let's go back to this. The Treaty of Annexation, Texas, April 12th, 1844. A treaty of annexation concluded between the United States of America and the Republic of Texas. The people of Texas having, this is why I keep telling you are not the people. The people are the people that are in that Congress making those laws. That's the people they're referring to. Okay? The people of Texas having, at the time of adopting their constitution, expressed by an almost unanimous vote their desire to be incorporated into the Union of the United States and being incorporated and being still desirous of the same with equal unanimity in order to provide more effectually for their security and prosperity, and the United States actuated solely by the desire to add their own security and prosperity, and to meet the wishes of the government and people of Texas have determined to accomplish by treaty objects so important that their mutual and permanent welfare. So important to their mutual and permanent welfare. For that purpose, the President of the United States has given full powers to John C. Calhoun, Secretary of State of the said United States, and the President of the Republic of Texas has appointed with like powers Isaac Van Zant and J. Pinckney Henderson, citizens of said republic, and the said plenipotentiaries, after exchanging their full powers, have agreed on and concluded the following articles. Article 1. Republic of Texas, acting in conformity with the wishes of the people in every department of its government, cedes to the United States all its territories. So it just said, I'm giving. Yeah, okay, let's see. What does cedes mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? Cedes, give up power. He ceded control of company to his brother. Give up power or territory. Gave up sovereignty. That's what happened. To the United States, all its territories to be held by them in full property and sovereignty, and to be annexed to the said United States as one of their territories, subject to the same constitutional provisions with their other territories. This cession includes all public lots and squares, vacant lands, mines, minerals, salt lakes and springs, public edifices, fortifications, barracks, ports, harbors, navy yards, docks, magazines, arms, armaments, accoutrements, archives, public documents, public fund, debts, taxes, dues unpaid at the time of exchange and ratification of this treaty. The citizens of Texas shall be incorporated into the Union of the United States, maintained and protected in free enjoyment of their liberty, property, and admitted as soon may be consistent with the principles of federal constitution to the enjoyment of the rights, privileges, and immunities of citizens of the United States. So this is why these people who preach in state citizenship, none of this stuff work, because this is because you are basically saying the same thing. You're a U.S. citizen if you're a state citizen. All titles and claims to real estate which are valid under the laws of Texas shall be held to be so by the United States, and measures shall be adopted for speedy adjudication of all unsettled claims to land, and patents shall be granted to those found to be valid. This is why y'all not winning foreclosure cases either. Because basically, all of the laws that they're following in foreclosure are federal statutes, and it is their requirement to make sure that you don't win by way of these little um let's see something. Let's block. I'm handling some stuff in the chat here. I don't know what these people, we got trolls in here. Um because it's their job to block you from winning. And just a side note, all of I know plenty of people facing foreclosures and dealing with issues in foreclosures. And some of them have these ideas that these fancy processes is going to get them a free house. No, it will not. 100%. I have not seen anybody win a house through these processes. I've heard people make claims that they have. It's not going to work. And this is why. This is why. Because the land don't even belong to the state anymore. They ceded it over. The public lands hereby ceded shall be subject to the laws regulating the public lands in other territories of the United States as far as they may be applicable, subject, however, to such alterations and changes as Congress may from time to time think proper to make. It is understood between the parties that if, in consequence of the mode of which land has been surveyed in Texas or from previous grants or location, the 16th section cannot be applied to the purpose of education. Congress shall make equal provisions by grant of land elsewhere. And it is also further understood that hereafter the books, papers, and documents of the General Land Office of Texas shall be deposited and kept in such place in Texas as the Congress of the United States shall direct. See, Congress of the United States tells them where to keep their records. And what did they do? They said the United States assume and agree to pay the public debts and liabilities of Texas. So, in exchange for paying off their debt, they became property of the United States. However created, for which the faith or credit of her government may be bound at the time of the exchange of the ratifications of this treaty, which debts and liabilities are estimated not to exceed in whole $10 million to be ascertained and paid in the manner hereinafter stated. And I could go on and on and on. And I'm not going to go on and on. I'm just giving y'all an idea of what happened. Back to this picture again. So when people coming to you and telling you that you wasn't from this land, and I'm here showing you pictures and depictions of how they represented you to the world at the time, what these people look like, or who are the originals, it's right here in your face. Now, these other colonizers here, they're studying on how to be governed by the United States. Let's read the little caption up there. It says, the consent of the governed is a good thing in theory, but very rare in fact. So what it's now, this is 1899. England has governed her colonies whether they consented or not. By not waiting for their consent, she has greatly advanced the world's civilization. The U.S. must govern its new territories with or without their consent until they can govern themselves. So the philosophy of the United States is to govern you whether you consent or not. This is why they have all of this stuff where they want to mandate you to do certain things. They believe you don't know better. And over here it says the Confederate States refused their consent to be governed, but the Union was preserved without their consent. And they're talking about the ratification of the 14th Amendment. That's what they're talking about. That wasn't really ratified. And then at the bottom it says Uncle Sam to his new class in civilization. Now, children, you got to learn these lessons whether you want to or not. But just take a look at the class ahead of you and remember that in a little while you will feel as glad to be here as they are. And this is also speaks to the school system, what it's really for. School system is a system of indoctrination. That's what it's for. To teach you how to be governed without your consent. Let me see. Anything else I wanted to share? I think I made my point. I skimmed a lot. You know, we could be here all night, me talking about this. Because I can go in and because I was actually reading. Let me see if I could find that. Because I read, I think it was here. Let me see, make sure this is it before I go into it. Suggested. Now, if you click on these hyperlinks that are in there, starting with the Tainos, you'll start to realize that the names they were giving these people, Tainos, wasn't the original name. But I don't have time to go into all of that. All right, what's going on in the chat? That's right. Oh, that's it. Chat's pretty quiet. All right, now if you have a comment on what I was talking about, press the one button. The number is 563. Let me put it on the screen. There it is. 563-999-3615. Press 1. What is this? Oh, got it. I don't know. Trash. Press 1. We have a lot of trolls starting the year off. I guess this picture sparked a lot of interest. You know, I haven't done a show like this in a long time, and here all the trolls who want to distract y'all from the truth. All right, 563-999-3615. Oh, let me take this off screen. If you want to talk to me, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm going to stop and move on and end the show. Da-da-da. Somebody said they just listening. Okay, that's cool. All right. Reminder. So I decided that my first seminar is going to be in you know what, I'm not going to disclose. I'm going to be doing a seminar. I will disclose once it's all planned out and done, and I will give you the information and the date, because there's a lot of distractors, haters out there. So, but it's going to be in a nice place. If you were on my prosperity ritual New Year's Eve, you know where I said I was going to do the first seminar. But I'm going to get it planned out. Hopefully we get it done within the next 30 to 45 days. and I'll announce it. Then we plan on doing another New Year's, the real New Year's celebration. I think that's like March 20th or 22nd, something like that. You know, that celebrating the new life coming back to the area, to this North America. So with that, oh, by the way, my son's back doing shows. He's been doing shows consistently on Saturday. It's called Self Growth Saturday, something like that. I've listened to a few of the shows. They're pretty good. He's getting back in the grind of things. I didn't chase him down. He just decided. So, all right. With that being said, I guess nobody got much to say. Oh, there is a hand up. Oh, my other half is on. Let's bring her in. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Very good show.
Thank you. I kind of
and you shared that picture with me before, but when I looked at it again, what was interesting to me is how all the brown people were in the front of the class.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
they were the ones getting us the lesson, the indoctrination. Mm-hmm. The other ones was already with the program. They were going to be the people to come in and replace those those brown skinned people.
Right.
Yeah. They were learning how to do government back there. That's why their book said Texas and stuff. So they were learning how to run those states, those territories. And the kids in the front was learning how to accept their leadership.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like you explained it. I think it's all very fascinating. So.
Yeah.
But I called because I sent you the affirmations that I read during New Year's celebration.
Okay.
So I just let you know that if anyone was interested in hearing them again or reading them for yourself, I sent it to Rakeem.
Right, yeah, because some people wanted those emailed. Those were good affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
So.
Okay, that was it. I just wanted to call.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. I'm about to shut it down. So, all right. Take care. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. Anybody else? Or I'm going to be out. I see a lot of fake names in the chat that I'm blocking, like weird names. So they trying to attack the channel. So, all right. Well, with that being said, no one got their hand up on Blog Talk. Like I said, just keep your goals focused, your positive goals. Keep them in your mind. Talk about them, think about it, dream about them every day, and also work towards them. All right. That being said, I'll show this picture one more time. There you go. Peace.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.